Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20.
Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Empower Field at Mile High. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. This pass complete to Reynolds. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
On second down now, it's Lindsay. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, to pick up of 12 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare must say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. The numbers for Evans a week ago: 3 catches, 61 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Play action now, Winston. Going deep this time for Miller. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Jameis to throw it. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
Dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Gay's kick is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 15 carries, 58 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
2nd and 9 now. This is the tight end fair. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 22-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Ready? 70, Indy. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Throwing on first down. Perry. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Perry. This is caught. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well. The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready? Blue 80. Now 51. I'm coming. Wait, huh?
First down, Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston, and his throw is incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in? Bounds on that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now Winston. This is Miller, complete. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Four receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Winston. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Scott Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Looking to throw. Perry, man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Perry. He completes this to Sutton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you're throwing so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Second and 4. And this is incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Perry. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Josh Reynolds, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go play action. Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked in to what they're doing offensively, and now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Here's Winston. He'll get this to Eckler, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt.
Yeah, baby. That's our ball. Our ball.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's going to wind up getting this all the way down to the Buccaneers' 14-yard line.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
So the illegal forward pass also costs them a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Here we go again.
From the gun, Perry to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Perry toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And McManus able to put it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock. Give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is fielded at the 27. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half. A touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The final shot before break. Perry, he'll let this go deep for Sutton. And, oh, my goodness, what a catch at the 6.
Let's go. Do it.
So we've hit halftime. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jordan Leggett, the target there, and it's 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay 1st. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's good for a Buccaneer 1st, a pickup of 12 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41. Winston now finding Godwin complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Jordan Leggett, the tight end, his intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The 2nd down throw for Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Again, it's Winston. That's complete right around the 8. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Eckler. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw, Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
He's got a man complete. They'll get 34 yards there. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Perry. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Go!
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Perry. He's got his tight end Fant. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 17-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Perry. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Winston. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies.
Oh, now Lindsey lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. The 3rd quarter hasn't been so kind to him or them. They were winning at halftime, now down. Maybe he needs to get going, get this spark back.
It probably felt pretty easy in the first half. You know, not easy like they can do whatever they want, but they were locked in. Things were going well. Whatever changes were made by the defensive side, they're winning with them right now. As you said, they've got to find that spark, maybe make some changes themselves on offense.
Right now they're clamping down on him in the run game.
And the game just keeps evolving. big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
At the 42-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Broncos 16.
Down. 10-2 stop. It's a party now. Keep dribbling.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
80 weapons. Get it.
On 1st and 10, Perry, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Back to throw. Perry, that's taken in, complete to Reynolds. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
That's into the hands of Reynolds. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 36, Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On third down, Winston. On the screen, this is Eckler.
You ain't going nowhere. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And this is caught by Evans. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the play.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run here with Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Winston. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Third and goal, Winston. This is caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Buccaneers have once again taken the lead. Gay is on for the point after.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On 1st down, Perry. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Perry. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On first down, it's Lindsey. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the Buccaneers' 40-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Here's Lindsey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Back to throw. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And now all of a sudden, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Mike, 45. Here we go.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Get it.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though.
Recon, 132 fighter.
No. Check out, read.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Trying to pound it in with Dixon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Kenneth Dixon with time running out. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2.
Here we go. Switch.
6-6. Pull it high.
Lindsey going to try and run it in. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. One last shot now for Winston. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Broncos, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll look to regroup.
How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my face. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. Yeah. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up. Never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready